Ain't no last calls here.
Bar Talk with Jay.
And welcome to Bar Talk with Jay. Yes. I want to say brought to you by Dispose. This is a small garbage company that, yes, I do work for. That's going to do great things for you. It's going to dispose of all that trash that you might have at your house or your business. So don't just call the big boys, let the little guys handle it too. One of the things I can tell you, been in management for over 28 years in the industry. I think I can still do some things great for you. Come try us out. And I want to always say, my man Craftmatic is not in the building with me for once. Lord have mercy. Just know he's loved, he's handling some things, and he ain't going to even be able to get on the phone with me right now. But I do got a special guest coming a little bit later. Yeah, that's for the ladies. We got Buddha. That's right, Buddha. We got Philemon coming in the building because he gonna get on the topic. I brought a special guest for y'all. We're gonna rock this one. But I want to bring somebody special, near dear to me. Only reason he's near dear, he's my child. That's right. Grown man, still my child. Always, we got Jay Moolah in the building.
Hey.
Okay, we ain't had this soft talking now. Hey, go ahead and make love to that mic. Talk to the people, man. Be happy, son.
I am happy. I'm happy.
Why are you happy?
Another day above ground, baby. Another day above ground.
But you got a lot of things that you're doing, right?
Yeah, a lot of stuff you gotta accomplish. A lot.
One of the things I always want to make y'all understand, always make your bed. Start with the smallest things. That way you can always accomplish something all the way. It starts with a plan. And one of the things I really want to make sure my son gets involved, not just with my show, into his life, is to find out what's going to make him happy so he can live a happy, fulfilled life. That's all I want from all my kids. You know, I was able to have my daughter around early on. But again, with Rock, Jay Moolah, he on, what you on, me? You're a little bit of everything, ain't you?
Everything.
Tender. Yeah.
Everything.
Yeah, you did nasty.
I'm out.
Black Planet.
I'm on everything.
Soul Search.
I'm on everything. I'm on everything.
Hey, just because he out there again, and for all the ladies, he is single. You know, I don't want to put his age out there, but
ready to mingle.
But he is 30. Okay. And
dirty 30, that is.
Did you say the dirty 30?
Dirty 30. See,
you about to put it down on y'all.
Man, you gotta light it up.
See, I tell you, you are definitely a younger version of me because I'm getting older, bro. I'm about to hit that 50 mark. So yeah, you got it. I'm gonna give you my player card. That's all I can tell you. I'm about to let it go. I'm just been in the game too long. Been pushing the radio, been pushing the business, and now I need to sit back, make some things happen, settle down. And again, that goes into our last topic. But before I even get to our last topic, gotta get a prayer because I ain't got my man Craftmatic to throw it down. So it's gonna be me tonight. So I guess we'll bow our heads. Lord, please bless all the ones that's not really seen. It's a lot of dark things that's going on. It's a lot of storms. I like you to be able to grab them and get them through and let them understand as they get through it's just a lesson. Don't give up. One of the things I'm noticing and I'm getting a lot of calls about is a lot of people are finding themselves in a dark place and they're getting scared and they're thinking about giving up. And I know that's not what you intend, so please help me give a word of encouragement so they can wake up and realize it is just a storm. You're going to make it through, and it's better days in front of you, but you got to make it through. So, Lord, please continue your mercy. Grab them. Help me with my words. Encourage them to be the best person they can be. In Jesus' name, amen. And remember, that's Bar Talk with Jay, Cash App.
Yeah.
Again, I mean, just saying. If you want to go ahead and throw a little bit out there, you know what I'm saying, building fund and all other stuff, you know. But again, we're going to go into what we was doing last week. Now, you know, you wasn't really in the conversation, Rock, but I'm kind of curious about what your thoughts are because you're a younger version.
Oh, wow.
But what are relationships? Well, hey, get back up. What relationship goals are in your near future? Now, Craftmatic threw me under the bus, and I'm talking about he went forward, backward, ran my ass over, back and forth, and I did ask for it. And it's fine because a lot of times we don't always want to state our future goals, but I do believe you have to plan them. But one of the things we talked about during the show is a lot of times people pressure you into marriage early on. And my whole thing is you shouldn't pressure anybody into something like that. They got to go fully invested especially a man, because a man supposed to find the woman, that's what's been written. But my whole thing is to find her. Please understand, you can't pressure me to do something faster than what I know or what I feel, because at that point I could be miserable. But what I can say is we do need to make proper steps, because I can't hide behind dating all the time and not move forward, and that's wrong as well. So it's one of them double-edged swords, but I really like to say get off your behind and make some plans and figure out what you really want to do. But that don't mean you're supposed to just do it overnight and then run into it just because somebody nagging you. They nagging you because they're really interested in you and that's what they want. But please understand, if it doesn't work out, you have to step away. You have to meet sometime, move on. And I said it during my last show, some of the people that touched me most is people that walked away from me. You're not the ones that sat there and just battered me, beat me up, just talked all that mess. I'm gonna give you the business, okay? All that about all that bit, they ain't get their ass nowhere, okay? They ain't get it. Anybody that got anything from me had to understand me. You understand my vision, understand my purpose, understand where I'm going, my drive. Then we can communicate, and then I feel like we can make that ride. It's not about my car, it's about my drive. Now you get these things in order, I'm telling you, we're going places. Now you might not see it on upfront, but my whole thing is I might not show it like somebody else. Somebody might give you more roses than me. Don't compare me to what you've been in. I'm going to bring you to something totally different, cut different, and I'm a different type dude. But again, I still want to appreciate you. So again, for all y'all out there that's dealing with this, be patient. And if you're working with somebody, but like I said, if you got a time frame, keep it. And if you got to move on, move on. But don't make a person feel like he has to, and then make them miserable in yourself, and it's really just all your fault. So I'm going to go to you, bro. You're a young man. What you feel about this? Because I know I hope you ain't looking at marriage like anytime soon, right?
No.
Or
No.
kids, right?
No.
Okay, I just want to make sure before I choke you. So just make sure. Don't let the cameras fool you now, because you ain't talked to daddy about none of that. But but if you have some plans in place, have you got a special one that I don't know about?
Man, mine would be, I'm in the building stage, so it's the the whole foundation. But my whole thing is, even after we get involved, I still want the building of the foundation. See, people get together and they think, oh well, we just done it, so now we're done. No, we still have to build. Like, there's still more to build on. See, people get relaxed. Like, you wasn't relaxed when you was sitting over here building. Now, well, what happened to the rest of the foundation? We just laid the concrete, and you done got lazy on me. Like, what? Come on now. It takes more than that.
You got lazy on your bro?
Man, I need more effort.
So what you trying to tell me? You got a weak base? Your
gonna
whole
sink
foundation is built
like
on
quicksand.
Okay. Well,
Like
something, I like that because it's coming from a younger version of me, you. Why is that?
I just want to say, at the end of the day, I believe it's built on, the whole communication thing. If I'm communicating with you and we're building, you got to keep that whole communication, building up. I mean, if I'm building a whole foundation with you and I'm communicating with you and I'm building something with you, and you stop talking to me, we're no longer building.
What stopped the communication?
Obviously it has to be it's a number of things. Maybe you're going out looking for something that you're not getting from me. Maybe you're looking for more. People don't always express things. People don't always talk. There's a lot left unsaid. You understand what I'm saying?
Oh, I do, but I want to make sure everybody out there understands you, because you're not the only one having this problem.
Nah.
And my whole thing is walking away from somebody and starting with somebody else while they still dealing with you.
Ain't the answer.
Well, it's what typically is happening more. And they're feeling unfulfilled by you. But not telling you is really unjust to you. Because it's becoming, after a while, a robbery. They're robbing you because you're still thinking there's something there. And they pretty much done moved on. And it's not fair. And it's going to make you mad. And that's why a lot of relationships end bitter and foul. Nobody need their car key and things done foolishly because a person got in their feelings. But what get people in their feelings is because they seen something in you, they started something, and then they don't see it happening. So guess what? They get mad, and then the actions that happen after that is some of the things that we don't need. So let's just back up and have that communication. But again, like you were saying, it falls apart. And I'm trying to figure out more what makes it fall apart.
The lack of respect.
Ooh, like, yeah, that.
What do you mean? Like, if I'm dealing with you and you respect me and I respect you, I mean, hey, if I love to tell people what's understood doesn't have to be explained. So basically, if we're building and we respect one another, you gotta at least have that respectful dialogue. I mean, hey, if I'm having a dialogue with you and it takes a turn for the worse, that right there just means it's a lack of respect. You know, at the end of the day, no two people should come together and be arguing all the time. That's not healthy.
I agree, and the lack of respect goes both ways. You have to give respect
To get respect.
and a lot of times you get mad, and that's when the disrespect starts.
Oh yeah.
But I like to say, if you channel your energy in the negativity realm, where you get so mad that you start to say negative things, I always say that's the time to hold your tongue. There's a person that I know too well, that when she gets in her feelings, she gonna express herself.
Mhm.
I don't feel there's nothing wrong with expressing yourself, because that person does without using foul language or try to do anything disrespectful. She just want to make sure she's heard.
Mhm.
I get that, but she's not the norm for everyone. A lot of time, people feel like you're ignoring me. I'm gonna get your attention, and at that point, I'm gonna get it the best way I know how,
Mhm.
and that's normally to go across your dome. And that's what normally happens. They go across your dome with words that's hurtful, because they know that's going to grab your attention, and it normally starts a nasty argument.
Right.
Things that we really don't want to do, but we do. I mean, we don't really talk about it, but I don't understand why we don't, because it happens all the time. You walk in on it.
Right.
And I don't really want to see that. I'm the kind of person that I don't even want to see somebody arguing on the street. I really feel like it's none of my business, but if you loud enough that I can overhear it, it's almost in my mind, why are y'all bringing me into your business? No different than Facebook.
Right.
You mad at somebody, and you want to get on here and you want to do these posts,
Publicize it
and you want somebody a court of opinion over what? Whatever went on with y'all, please understand, anybody out there to comment, 9 times out of 10 gonna give you something other than what you probably need. Encouragement is what you really need, and what they gonna give you is some stuff that's gonna probably cause your relationship to be even more in shambles.
Right.
Some people go pray on you. I mean, and I say pray, ain't praying over you. I'm talking about pray on you, as in pray to get in you. Okay? They gonna go into that DM, be like, yo, if that brother ain't doing it, I can do it for you.
Right.
You know, that's Smooth Willie. Smooth Willie, Slick Willie is gonna slide as well in there because you gave him an opportunity.
Like-
because you told your business.
Like that person that ain't me.
That look like him?
That look like him.
Oh.
That's not like him.
You talking about Jamal?
Oh, that's his
Oh, you
name.
know I'll call him
Oh,
Oh
baby.
yeah, I over here we snitch. Shit me. If you gonna call him, yes.
Oh, man.
But I like to say, I don't even think he gonna be that quick to jump on you for stuff like that, because even he get offended to see you throw your business out there.
Right.
And I really feel like you're doing it because you're mad
Right.
and you want to voice it. But I really feel like watch who you voice it to, because the most important person to voice it to is the person that you feel that way with.
Exactly.
And that's one of the things I respect when somebody bring it to me. You know, not give me the business, but give me really how they feel, and give it to me in more than one way. The reason I say that is when you get in your feelings, you channel it, and it's channeled just from you. And I'm not you, I'm a different person. So my whole thing is sometimes I miss it. But I am a person that might ask you some questions. And they're going to say I'm running around the bush. No, I'm trying to find out in a different way exactly how you might be feeling.
Right.
For we can channel this energy in a better way. I like to be more positive than negative. It doesn't always work, don't get me wrong. Some people it's just not for me.
Right.
You know, I date to eliminate. Everything is
Right.
not for me. So what about you? What about your dating? You know, this little segment right here is about rock, and we're getting back into our old topic. But what about you in dating?
I date.
Okay,
I
you
dib
date.
dab, you know.
Dib and dab.
Dib dab.
So do you date? And let's go get towards the subject a little bit.
Mhm.
But do you date without sex, or are you dating to have sex?
Okay, see.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna throw you under there. You know, craft
all
ain't
the
around.
way under
Somebody
there.
gotta do it.
Alright, I'll be honest. 9 times out of 10, if I'm dating,
Yeah.
there is an exception.
What's the
But
exception?
9 times out of 10, I'll tell you the exception in a second. 9 times out of 10, if I'm dating, it probably is just to have sex, to be honest. Now, there is an exception,
Okay.
and that exception is with the with the conversation, and I had to see the potential of us actually going somewhere before I'm willing to hold off. So it's like, you're gonna have to really show me something on the upfront to make me, oh, okay, you, maybe. But hey, but that's a rocky road though, you know. I can't, that's just like if I'm talking to you for a few days. I understand women be like, oh, I got a 90-day rule. If you got 90 days, I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm not the one for you. My partner,
what?
90 days. A 90-day rule.
90 days for what?
To get the cookie.
Oh, hell no.
I'm not waiting.
I mean,
my boy told
I
me
wait.
we got the 180, okay? We got the 3 minutes. He gonna be here in about 3 minutes. So
I
yeah.
don't like how you explain it.
Yeah.
But put it like this. When I say I don't wait, I'm gonna clear that up real quick. My whole thing is, I don't mind waiting. I just don't like the fact that you put a time frame on something that I feel like we should be taking the time. It is when you feel comfortable.
Exactly.
It is when we vibe and then we get that chemistry and then we make that decision. And if it takes 90 days, then so be it. But my whole thing is, if you set 90 days, then I'm wondering, are you setting it on the vibe? Are you setting it on where you really feel? Or are you doing it off of somebody else's book?
Hey.
My whole thing is do it off of you. And again, a lot of things can happen even from sex. But again, our topic tonight is going to be something totally different. But again, I think they're going to tie. And I'm trying to make sure we get a relate on both ends before we can have a conversation that's meaningful. And that's why I brought you. And then again, my special guest, oh Lord, I know he got to think the opposite way because I think he might be like you. But we won't throw him under the bus just yet.
But you can have a solid foundation without sex.
Well, we're going to get into it in a minute and a half. Right now, we're starting off just trying to ask just some general questions real quick. Because we're going to come back. We're going to have to go to break real quick. When we come back, we're going to get in with my man, Jamal, which is going to give y'all his side, his version. We're going to get with Jeffrey. And then we and you and our special guest, Buddha, we're going to go in a little bit harder. And again, man, shouts out to Barb. He wasn't able to make it in Georgia.
Barbara.
Gave us a script, gave us everything that we needed. And again, her quote will be coming out a little bit later. Because again, I'm going to get my boy in the building when I threw it all out there. But tonight's topic, this is what we're going over tonight, y'all. This is not my topic, but we're going to talk about it. How do you build a relationship that's not based on sex? Do you hear me? Yes. One more time. How do you build a relationship that's not built or based, that's not based on sex? Wow. Well, I don't got my man Craft Magic to give me my spiritual advisement that I would normally need right about now. This is not my topic. But it's one of the things I can go back and tell you, yes, it can be done. I've done it countless times. And it normally starts with the woman. Because again, when she holds her morals and her value, I don't forsake them. That's just me. But we're going to get into it and find out what you got going. Facebook, let's hit us up and all rock fans, which is J Moolah. I need y'all to go ahead on Facebook. Give me your comments. Let's find out. And my son, Jay Moolah, holding it down with me tonight. But we got to introduce that guy that looks like him, that's not him, that's going to do something special for us. His name is Jamal. How you doing, big baby?
Man, what it is, Bone, what it is, Jay.
Man.
I'm out here, I'm at work. I just started a new job, so I got major smiles on me right now.
Uh-oh.
You know me, man, I'm steady working.
Okay. Well, how's this new job, man? Where you at?
Man, got me a district manager position in Philly. So salary, I'm bumped up to about, nice little 60 something. So I'm feeling a whole lot better.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm proud of you, man. I'm happy for the promotion. Good luck to you. And when you make it to the top, don't forget about your boy.
I got you, but holler at me, man. What's up with the topic for the night?
Now, for the topic for you. You really got to think about this one, bro. Because I got to know how you feel about this one. How do you build a relationship that's not based on sex?
Bull. Ain't no way. I mean, put it like this. Listen, I don't know about y'all, but you ever had a Christmas gift? It looked nice, it's wrapped all pretty, and then when you open the gift, it's not what you wanted? Now you
Yeah.
gotta thank it and just be nice about, oh, well, thank you for getting me something, but who wanted a sweater? I didn't want no sweater.
Ooh. So,
Y'all ain't never had that happen?
I mean,
Okay, well, if you did, I'll say this. I'm just that dude where, based on a relationship, yes, I believe you should have fundamentals, groundwork, friendship, commitment, the whole 9 yards, loyalty and trust and all that. However, being honest about it, if the sex is whack, I'm not saying with you.
wow.
I'm not. If the sex is whack, I could try my best to teach you what I like and what I don't like. But do I want to be a teacher in that type of position? Do I really want to have that uncomfortable position like, yo, babe, you're using your teeth too much. Hey, what are you doing right now? Babe, you got no rhythm. Like, ain't no safe way to say that to an adult woman, you know what I mean, who's already thinking she's doing what she's doing. You could try your best to teach her, but no. If the box ain't hitting right, if it's a desert down there, I'm not saying with you. I'm not spending goddamn on $7.99 on lube every week. If I gotta have more more products because of your genitals and new shit, all that, you know what? I probably don't want that dog. That's just not me. It's just not gonna happen. I don't want it. If the relationship doesn't have good sex, no matter how great a friendship is, there's no way to make a long-term relationship work. Because how long before you get bored with the person? How long before you just look at somebody else to spice it up? To me, if somebody got to spice it up with another person, somebody lacks.
All right,
Somebody afraid to tell somebody they lack.
question. Have you ever had a relationship that did not have sex? I know you had to have a friend. You had to have somebody that you just didn't vibe
Yeah, when I was
with.
a kid.
Wow. So you mean as an adult?
He said, is that guy?
Yeah, I mean, we definitely count it, but as an adult, you never had a female
As an
that you just
a
didn't,
female relation, like
Right.
boyfriend, girlfriend?
boyfriend, girlfriend that you didn't have sex with.
No. Absolutely not.
So,
Now, did you have sex with?
So
No. I
you-
got old girls I have sex with. So, no. No.
so you
You
smash
live in my
everybody.
house, you come to my house after 11 o'clock, you know what's up. I'm not playing that game with you.
So you
I'm
trying
a
to
grown
tell?
man, I'm an adult. I have physical needs. I'm not finna sit here and pretend like I don't want this when I do. You wear them booty shorts around me in my bed, you know what you waking next to. A whole remote on your back. What you mean? You come lay down in my bed wanting to cuddle, and you put your hand on my chest, I'm moving your hand below the waistline. Like, am I in a relationship and not having sex? That's not a relationship. That's a spiritual partner.
Wow. Okay, so since you
You get
smash,
more intimate with Jesus and you don't have a sexual relationship with him, and that's
Oh.
the same level of commitment, openness, and talking to.
I didn't think he was gonna go there. Okay, well, yeah, that was below the belt. Jamal, what advice can you give somebody that would like to build a relationship without sex, though?
Oh, well, for those people,
Uh-huh.
Jesus better be your foundation. Jesus better be your A, B, C, and hallelujah, and all be all. Because if that's the type of relationship you have that's not based on sex, well then yes, I am looking for the spirit in the person. Yes, I do want to mesh with that person. Yes, I believe in the trust and the loving friendship that we have. I can see a future with that person. Awesome.
Now,
My
see,
realistic approach is a future doesn't mean it's the future. A future from now is me with $100,000. That does not guarantee me that at the end of the day I'm going to have $100,000. It just means I had it at one point. I think you can have that type of relationship, but you got to be honest with yourself. I'm all for the spirit, the cause, the struggle, the whole 9 yards. But is this somebody that I can see myself physically being with long term? That's a truthful question I think every man should ask himself. Otherwise, why waste a woman's time?
I feel you. I think you gave some good comments on it, really. Because I know a lot of women's gonna be like, you really nasty because you smashed everybody. I mean, everybody. You didn't leave nobody unsmashed. But I ain't mad at you. But the advice you gave is right. Some people are looking for a spiritual soul tie. They're looking for something other than just sex. And I want to make sure we can give the audience exactly what they're looking for because, again, I know there's a lot going on right now. And I'm trying to get people to recognize what goes on, have a conversation, and get us on the same sheet of music. Because remember one of the things you said, if it's whack sex, that means they ain't vibing. You bumping and you moving and you out of sync. You know, it's like, okay, this is requiring no teeth and you got teeth. These things right here can't keep happening. So, Jamal, continue trying to school them on how to make this happen.
Well, I would give my advice like this. Fellas, date the woman. If you look at her for physical only, well then don't be surprised if that's the foundation of what you want. I got two beautiful women right here with me, and I'm going to just ask them right quick. Women, could you date a guy without sex?
Can I date a guy without sex?
Right.
That's hard.
That's hard? Oh, okay. If he has a nice personality, he's the greatest friend, or whatever, we're on the radio.
Okay. For the audience, we got him on the streets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we on the show. So I had to throw that out there like, she about to have a whole conversation. But if a guy has a great personality and he's winning, could you see yourself with him if he has terrible sex?
If he has terrible sex, yes.
You can still be with a guy if he has terrible sex? Oh, you can teach him how. How long would that teaching last? Before you say, bro, this ain't working.
Oh, yeah, I'll probably do like 7 months.
Oh, well, girls want to emotionally be with you for 7 months. What about you?
Sorry, let's say we started dating and stuff like that.
I don't think it's going to work, but I'll say them.
No, listen, hear me out. We started dating and shit over, and the sex is bad the first day. If the sex bad the first day, I'm not going to be like, all right, you just don't know what I like. I'm just don't know what I like. And if you're still not doing it right, he just wet. That's how I feel.
And then you going to cut him off?
I'm not going to cut him off because I'm, you know, low key, it's hard to be nice too.
So let's get this straight. The women are going to be nice because they don't want to feel bad. My advice is tell the truth about what you want. Mm-hmm. Otherwise, the relationship, somebody's lacking.
Why is he thinking
If you want to have a spiritual relationship, by all means, date that person. Go out, enjoy the movies, enjoy the concerts or the candle burnings or whatever it is that, you know, she or he likes. That way you fall in love with the person as opposed to falling in lust with a person. There's a major difference. There are some women that you can have sex with and be like, yo, that box is mine. I ain't giving that to nobody else. That is the best box I ever had. We're going to figure everything else out along the way. Some relationships start like that. No one way is right over the next. But I think you need to be honest with yourself as to what you're looking for. And same with a female. Don't lie to that man and be nice. If he's garbage in bed, pop in a video. Give him a chance. Give her a chance. If it don't work out after that, well, somebody's just a terrible student.
Thank you, Jamal, for taking it to the streets. Jamal done grabbed two young ladies that they both gave their opinions, and they both was fair. One said about 7 months she would work with a person that got whacked, tallywhacker. And then the other one said she would just work with it. I mean, you can't beat this. So Jamal, I gotta hand it to you, man, because now I think your new segment is we're gonna have you take it to the streets.
Yeah, Bar Talk with Jay in the streets.
So we're gonna find out what the streets is really saying.
Straight like that. That's what I'm gonna do every time.
Yeah, man.
We're gonna take it to the streets.
We're gonna take it to the streets. New segment. Jamal's gonna be in the streets because again, they ain't doing it on Facebook. They ain't calling in. So we're gonna take it to the streets and we're gonna find out people's opinions. We got two people's opinions, and again, this is people's personal opinion. It might not fit you, and if it don't fit you, don't walk around in it. But the bottom line, if it do, you're gonna learn something today. So Jamal taught us something big.
Put it like, I say this bone like, Shorty says she'll give man time to date him past the wax set. So fellas, if you have a 7-month cushion, use that 7-month cushion to date that woman. Like, know her, enjoy her, you know, paint her nails with her, watch Lifetime and Oxygen, give her the pants in a relationship. I mean, I didn't get to call you a female, but if you're gonna be a female to the woman, then be all the way female. But every dog I know, at a certain age, that pink thing poke out, and dominance and sex go hand in hand. So, fellas, be the dogs you are. I'm not saying go hoe around, but tell that woman, hey, babe, I ain't gonna lie to you. I don't know how much longer I can do the celibate stuff, but the way you wearing them jeans and that dress, I mean, I know it's a Sunday fit, but the way you shaking them rings up, the way you cooking that corn, baby, did you just bend down and get them pots like that? Like, come on, man. At a certain point, man gonna be a man, bro.
Wow.
I heard that.
Well, and we agree with you. A man will. But again, like you said earlier, is it going to be love or lust? They sound similar, totally different. And we heard it on the street. Some people are willing to work with you. I heard a young lady say, you might not know me. And I really feel like that's very true when it comes to sex and getting in early on. You wouldn't know her. You wouldn't know her love language. You wouldn't know her body movement. You got to learn it. But are you willing to? Now, see, that's the key. If you really into that person, that makes sex meaningful. When you just out there doing it, you're not going to take the time to notice that, to do that. And that's why we got a lot of people just humping around and they tell you it's just sex. Meaningless sex. And if you want a relationship with meaningless sex, you really don't have a foundational relationship. You just got sex. You can try to build on it the best way you can. And what the girl said, they can give you 7 months. I don't think that's going to be everybody's opinion, but that was theirs. Wow. All I can say, this is going to be very interesting. I will say, I've got to let you go, Jamal, because we got to go back to break. And to everybody in the audience, we got Buddha in the building.
I got you.
He's back.
You got it, man.
Oh, handle that. Handle that.
Oh, Lord. He gonna handle it
Enjoy
next.
yourself in the act. I'm finna go find me some more females to take it to the streets and take it to the sheets with you, dig?
All right.
You out, bro. We appreciate you. Up next, y'all, we got Buddha in the building. We're gonna find out his thoughts after Jeffrey, because we got Jeffrey coming up next. And the sounds tonight of the music is played by what? Jay Moolah. Yes, my son is handling the wheels of steels. What you got for us this time around?
This time I'm gonna give y'all a little bit of tank, a little bit of dirty.
Oh, you trying to get nasty with it?
I ain't trying to.
I'm telling you, when I listen to Tank, you trying to you see, you don't listen to Tank when you ain't trying to get no sex. When you're trying to say Tank get you in the mood. Got my man Jeffrey on tonight, but we got Buddha in the building. Buddha, how you doing, big baby?
What's up, Jay?
If y'all didn't know who Buddha was, his nickname, but his real name, Philemon. That man is in the building tonight holding it down with me. Again, we don't got craft, so we brought the best person I knew when this topic came out. So we're going to go in a little early tonight, okay? And one of the things we're going to talk about tonight, Phil, is how do you build? What the?
My bad.
Man, my son back there doing all kinds of things. In the middle of the show, come on, player. How do you build a relationship that's not based on sex?
How do you build a relationship that's not based on sex?
Can you tell some suggestions? I really felt like you'd be the perfect person.
I don't know why.
You know why? Think opposite of you. Just think opposite, Phil. Woosah. Woosah.
I mean, how to build a relationship without sex?
That's what it is.
That's real hard, Jared.
It might be hard, but people want to know
because, I mean, first of all, you have to have an understanding with the person that you're dealing with.
how. Right.
And to make sure both of you are on the same level in regards to what you want out of the relationship, what type of relationship you want. It has to be, stated and mentioned up front, because most of the time, you know, well, not most of the time, all the time. Anytime you deal with somebody, it's a physical attraction. It's not like the first time you meet somebody, you be like, ooh, I'm attracted to their mind. You can't be. It's physical attraction.
Okay.
So therefore, the lust part of it is already there, because unless it's business, but other than that, if it's personal, it's always a physical attraction. So what you're gonna have to do is you have to be strong-willed and strong-minded to have a relationship not based on sex. Because, I mean, let's just be honest, most relationships are based on sex. Because you deal with the person, and if you're in tune with the person, then you're like, oh, okay, we can rock for a minute then. Because 9 times out of 10, if you deal with somebody and, you know, sex not there, I can't agree. I can't agree with Jamal.
You can't?
No, I
He
can't.
smash everybody.
No, I can't agree with him, because he's like, you know, yeah, we can smash it, then we can keep it moving, we can keep it going.
Mm-hmm.
No.
So you just smash and leave it alone?
For what? I ain't trying. Look. Before I was married, I was what, in my 30s?
Mm-hmm.
Bro, I'm not trying to teach anybody. You should already know.
So if you got somebody that just was new to you, so she knew from somebody else, so her teachings was not of your standard. You ain't willing to
she needs to have some experiences. So I'm not like, you know, I don't need to be a militant love maker. No, I don't need to hump left, right. No, no. Semi-stroke deep. No. I need you to know exactly what you're doing. I don't need to be teaching you. No, training wheels and classes, that's over. You're supposed to get that in college, and, you know, if you ain't go to college, just life, period. You know, but it's,
some people hold themselves, and they've been with just a select few people that might not have shown
they
them.
wasn't holding themselves for me then. Not at that point in time. Because, I mean, it's hard to have a relationship not based on sex, because it's so easy. Now, today's, the way society is right now, it's so easy to have sex, because sex is so dominated in society. Everything is sex.
But sex sells, as they say.
Yeah, exactly. So the hardest thing for a man and a woman to do to each other is get them naked. Is get each other naked.
That's the hardest?
That's the hardest. And I'm not talking and I'm not talking about in regards to the physical part. Mentally naked.
Oh.
So that means
Expose themselves.
yeah, exactly. So if we wanna start a relationship and it's not about sex, that means that you have to, that wall that you have,
Mm-hmm.
you have to let that wall come down.
Mm.
I'm not supposed to take it down. If that's what you want, if that's the type of relationship that you want is a relationship not based on sex, you have to be able to get naked in front of me and not physically.
Mm.
You have to be able to allow me in. You have to be able to allow me in and not actually, you know, push me away by your barriers, because everyone has barriers. So if you can't allow me in without me, you know, bringing out the heavy duty equipment, I'm fighting an uphill battle, and we might as well, you know, just have a relationship based on sex.
Heavy equipment, eh?
Yeah, heavy equipment.
All right. Well, I would like to say, for the ones out there that will want to disagree with you, Jamal, and everybody else, yes, you can have a relationship without sex. And one of the reasons why you can I've met many women that had high morals, and they let it be known on the upfront. They wasn't looking for sex. They wasn't looking for any of that at that time, but they was willing to hear me out and listen to me and see where things can go. Now, what I did was I respected how they felt, their morals, and we kept it just like that. Now, keeping it like that, and I will say, get tempting, we talked, but we didn't do anything because respectfully, she let me know where she stands. I really feel like once a person let me know where they stand, I have to somewhat respect, because I'm the man. And my whole thing is not to take and destroy anybody's morals or their dreams, ever. So one of the things that I do is I stand down and I respect and I see. Now, some people go against what they say. And that's fine, because you can change your mind because of the person that you're with. And some people are held on. Now, they held on, but I didn't pursue. Now, one of the things I would say is if that person, and I like to say I probably could have had sex with them, I'd had to pursue them more. And I would have had to do more than I was willing to do, knowing that's not what I wanted. That didn't make sense. I respected her for what she was, so I just left her what she was. She was just my friend, and she's still my friend to today. A person I can call on, talk to, but I wouldn't call her at 10, 11 o'clock at night. I wouldn't disrespect like that. But my whole thing is first thing in the morning, I will call because I know the kind of friendship we have. I have made many friendships like that, and it started with them. Because again, the ones that started with more of sex, because to me, we might as well talk on both ends. And I like to say, if I met people that I had sex with I like to say quickly, okay? Didn't take very long. And we had great relationship, great fun, and it evolved in a lot more. And it was not stated. When I met this person, she wasn't looking at me like that. Matter of fact, when we first started off, she didn't do anything. All right? Made me wait a little bit, but it's kind of funny. You make me wait, but by the time it get going, she had her thing going, I'm over here, and next thing I know, it's like, I'm changing the game. In the middle of the play, really? But when people feel a certain way, you have a right to make change, but you just have to communicate it. That person made sure they communicated to me, and I like that. That's why I'm saying somebody that just start off with sex saying they can never be nothing, it's not always true, because again, that sex was like the bomb. You know, we had fun, we enjoyed each other, and then you be like, what can you build from there? Well, it depends on your communication. At that point, they opened all the way up, and they communicated, and then they did what you said, they exposed themselves. Not the nakedness of just the sex. They exposed themselves because they felt so good about the sex that they felt like it could be a lot more. And they gave me more. They gave me more of themselves. And respectfully, I wasn't trying to destroy them. So yes, it evolved into something. I mean, don't get me wrong. It might not have lasted forever, but it lasted long enough where we enjoyed each other. And we still friends too. And it started off sexual, but we are friends. We are tied as a friend compared to anything else now. Now, would I expect that? No. I would tell you, no, you just wait and that person's going to develop. You don't know how everything's going to come. Everybody's different. Quit basing on all your past relationships because everybody ain't going to be your past. Your future is going to be with somebody that's going to show you something different.
Yeah, you should never allow your past to jeopardize your future.
Well, it can if you keep letting it come forward.
Exactly.
Your past supposed to stay in your past.
Exactly.
So
now,
your past
is
your right.
But we don't need to bring the past
into the present. You can tell you married. Had that happen a lot, right? They seem not to forget the stuff that was done. But that's another show at another day. But
that's any woman.
Can't forget nothing. You know, how you gonna say you forgive and you ain't gonna never forget and keep bringing it back up?
Hey, look, I swear some of the genes that women have apply elephant.
Hold on, I ain't see that one come. Hold on. You said part elephant.
Part elephant, the elephant get anything. Just like an elephant.
It sounded like you had, this must not have happened not long ago, okay? Got a story to tell? Oh my goodness. We're about to go to break, but right before we do, have you had any experiences that you had sex first and it evolved where you thought it would just be a smash and go, and it turned out to be something way more?
Yeah.
Now, when it turned out to be more, was it on both ends?
Mm-hmm.
Now, when that happened, was it communication, or was it just that look? You know.
No, it's communication.
Okay.
A whole lot of communication.
Now, during, or was it a lot of communication after?
Actually, it was communication before,
Mm-hmm.
during, and after.
You just nasty. Yeah, I'm gonna talk my way through this.
No, not like that. But you know, it was just that, you know, the mutual respect and and basically that's what it was. It's just mutual respect that we had for each other, and you know, knew that at that point in time that we both were not looking for anything serious. But, you know, we enjoyed each other's company, enjoyed each other's time, and we just, not one argument. And it was just cool. It's just beautiful.
Now, I like that part. No argument.
Yeah, from communication.
So you to me, y'all just had debates.
Yeah.
Y'all challenge each other.
Yeah. But
You didn't have to argue. So you didn't
No.
fuss. You didn't raise voices. Not necessary.
No, just, you know, this is my opinion. I understand it. However, in this situation, this is my opinion.
Mhm.
Okay, I respect your opinion. So, from that standpoint, why do you feel this way? Well, this is why I feel this way.
Respect, yeah.
Yeah. It was just, you know, a nice little banter back and forth.
All right, well, for all y'all, we're about to go to break, but one of the things that we're doing tonight, we're talking about relationships that's based on no sex. One of the things we're talking about tonight is sex, because if you're going to talk about one, we got to talk about the other. So we're going to go back and forth because we don't know where you at. Jamal went to the streets. He did his thing. My boy Jeffrey had to lay out. But right now we got Buddha in the building that's going to help change the game. Help y'all realize how we can come around to talk about this in a way that it be healthy and we all feel good. But right now I got my son on the wheels of steel. He's going to take us to break real quick. I don't know what he got for us next. You know, he's been throwing it out. What you got for us, Rob?
Bruno Mars. Like this.
When we talking about this topic, oh, you special.
Yeah.
That's what I
It's interesting. To
Dude,
say the least.
one of the things that I have to admit, it's not my topic, but one of the things I want to do is make sure I try to dive into it. And one of the things I really respect is sex that prevalent that it shadows everything? And I like to say it couldn't. There's no way in the world, because I had a lot of relationships when I was younger and I wasn't having sex. And we talking about young. I'm 14, 15 years old. I was on the phone, bro. Feet up on the wall. You know how you got that phone?
You remember that?
What? I remember it like it ain't nothing. You know why?
No, I'm just saying, cause you know.
I ain't that old. Don't play. Don't play. Don't play now. I still got some hair. Don't go there. I was sitting on the floor, feet up on the wall, enjoying myself, talking about everything I wanted to talk about.
Yeah,
because see,
man.
when you ain't having sex, I had so much other things going on. I was
Yeah.
excited about every other thing. Now I know you like to say, okay, that was when you was young. Call it what you like. It still happens to today. I can get on the phone with somebody.
Mhm.
We ain't gotta mention sex. Ain't gotta have sex on the mind at all. But our conversation might lead there later. But on the upfront, we have a nice conversation that just leads you to another place. And you gotta have that in you. And my whole thing, a lot of people don't have no game. They just go straight in.
Yeah.
Everything is just sexual based. It's always, you look so good. I can't wait to see you. I want to put something in you. Well, you ain't even asking about their day. You ain't even asking about them. You don't even know their kid's name. You know, how's your kids? You know, because you don't really know. You just trying to be nice. Because all you want to know is when I'm going to hit it. You know, you got a one track. Your mind is just there. But when you just a good person, I can talk about anything.
Yeah.
And as we talk, we get excited. My whole thing, it shouldn't be a dry conversation. If you call somebody and you just gotta hold the phone, that's a person that done dried out. Okay? It's like Jamal said, that $7.99 for that lube, you need to be tired of buying because it's a dry conversation. It's gonna be a dry situation.
What they say? Conversation rules the nation, and knowledge is power.
Gonna be key all the time.
Always.
So one of the things I would tell you is look at the conversation, how a person treats you, leads you. Mm-hmm. Secondly, when it comes to like non-sex, think about your first date. All right, my first date is not always anticipating of just smashing, because I have to find a vibe. I really like to vibe with a person because it gives us a better chance to have great sex. So when I dialogue with a person and we have fun, I don't normally go straight to sex. I'm trying to find out about you. So as I dive into you and you diving into me and we having fun with each other, conversation might come up about it a little bit later or whatever. But how it comes up is this respect factor for the fact that we didn't start off just with it.
Yeah.
So we have something we can always go back to. So again, my whole thing is, what's your makeup? Where you going? What you doing?
I don't know, man, because you know, you can.
You do what? It's right there in front of your dome.
The vibe is always there. So whether
you first met her?
Yeah.
You vibe automatically?
Yeah, when you first meet somebody, you already know. You can tell by the vibe if you smashing or not. You can tell by, because when women give off tails, just like men give off tails.
Oh, tattletale.
Yeah, they give tail signs.
Tattletales.
So it's like, say, first date, blah blah blah. You talking and it may be a corny joke or just a joke, period. Mm-hmm. And she laugh and then she hits you. First thing you be like, got him. Cause you already know she letting you know, because women are very, very strong when it comes to barriers and things of that nature. So when you're dealing with a woman and the first thing she do is she make contact with you, mm-hmm. That barrier is gone.
To a degree. They lowered it down.
Exactly.
They lowered it down.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna tell you how I'm gonna give you a secret about how you lower it even further. Don't react to it. See, she gave you a lower, right? You want to lower it even more? At the end of the night, I'm gonna tell you, this is just me. Mm-hmm. At the end of the night, she's expecting me to probably go a little further because she already let me know that she's into me. We vibing, and I end the night with a simple hug.
Yeah.
Now at that point, she like, what the heck? I gave him the signal. So
my technique.
Yeah, I know. You're told. We know. We all know, Buddha.
I just let them know at that point in time, violence is not the key. So I move my chair over. So that means they have to reach over farther
to really get to you. Exactly. My whole thing is, like when they say about the non-sex, is a lot of times when you see a person is opening up, you don't always have to just approach and just grab it just because my whole thing is, they're showing you some things, and respectfully, I can give it back in a respectful manner where I can hug you and just let you know it could be another date. Yeah. It don't have to go down that day. My whole thing is to have a good date. I date to eliminate. So if I date you and I want to go back out with you again, then obviously you made the cut.
Yeah.
Because I promise you, I went on many dates and it didn't make the cut. Some was just this one hitter quitters, they might want to say, one night of fun and passion. Uh-oh.
What in the world?
The computer just...
Uh-oh. Hold on.
Hello?
TV just...
Yeah, everything.
Yeah.
What the what?
We don't keep going. We gotta hit the plug real quick. Just to make sure it didn't kick out.
Probably a storm.
Alright, we got a storm going on out here, so apologize if we lost air for a second and a half.
On the line.
But we still going. We going. That's what we do. We get
technical difficulties.
we can't stop the weather. The weather gonna be the weather. Just like And then go again.
Don't worry
Just
about
like
it.
you think
Hey.
about relationships,
Mhm.
you got to be able to weather that storm.
Yeah,
A
exactly.
situation where you can't just jump into a situation. You got to understand what is out there.
Mhm.
We all go through things. And sometimes it's more than we can bear. But you're built to last.
Yeah.
So you got to stop thinking that you're not going to make it. You got to think in a different way.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, a lot of women like to put it out there that, you know, I don't want to have sex.
Right.
Even though they want to have sex, because contrary to popular belief, women want to have sex just as much as men want to have sex. But the thing is, they want to put it out there like that's not what they want, to see what type of man you are. So, in that aspect, what happens is it's just like they're putting you on, they're giving you a test, or you know, something to that effect. So what they actually do is try to see what type of control you have, and if you have that control, then at that point, then that the likelihood of you moving forward with them is better for you, because what happens is, I mean, we all test everyone in regards to relationships, and whether it be with sex or without sex, it's always there. And what women like to do is to see what kind of willpower you have, what kind of restraint that you have in order to pursue them. Because if you don't have enough willpower to restrain yourself from just constantly pressing them for sex, the only thing that they get from you is the only thing that you want is sex. Nothing more, nothing less. And with your actions, that's exactly what you're telling them that you want, and what you're doing, and what you expect from them. Nothing more and nothing less. So you have to be able to show when it comes to a relationship with no sex, there has to be a balance somewhere else to balance out not having sex. Not saying that, you know, sex isn't good and sex isn't beneficial to a relationship, because it is. However, if you want to be in that person's life, you have to respect the fact that in order for them to be where you want them to be, this is the stepping stones that you have to take to get there. Okay. Without sex, and you just have to be able to respect it. And again, you also have to be able to respect yourself and let them know, look, if that is what, you know, that if that's what you want, you know, I can respect that. However, I have to bow out gracefully, because that's not what I'm looking for at this point in time.
What, like you said, with communication, you got to be clear about it.
Yeah.
I like that when you said balance, because one of the things that people don't recognize, even with good sex, it has to be an offset, even with it. Can there be a conversation without it? Because that's all you have, and it's normally not enough. So it is the other side. So when somebody say, can there be a relationship without sex? Well, I would like to say it should be, because if you had a person that just gave you good sex and your communication was on whack, but the sex was great, it's almost like what old girl said, I will hold on for a minute because of the good sex. But when I'm having dry conversations, even though it's not dry when we together, you know, it makes me curious about, are we really compatible?
Yeah, that's only going to last so long.
And it's not long at all, because truthfully, it's kind of good sense is when they calling you and it's all dry. But when you together, it's like fire. You know, because that's that to me, that chemistry, that vibe.
Plus,
Yeah, that's all it is. It gets back to that physicalness, and you're going at it, but you want to call it more than lust. Because at that time, it feels good. You want it to be more, but it ain't.
No, it's just lust.
Yeah, it is.
It's just lust.
And now that you know what it is,
That's all it is.
you tend to move on, right?
It's
Because
just
you
lust.
want more than just that physical. You want more than just that lust.
Well, no, it depends on where you are.
Well, I would like to say I've been in a situation where I just dated and the lust was just good, okay? But I have to admit, me being older, even it gets old. Because my whole thing is I like to be able to dialogue with a person.
Mm-hmm.
So I have to have sex with you and I have to dialogue with somebody else. Because I don't dialogue with you good. And it happens a lot. So my whole thing is, why am I having people around me that's not really of me? It's taking me out of myself. But yet you want to know why I'm so distant. Well, I can't get into it because of what the barriers we have. We don't have a good foundation. But guess what? When lust worked for me, it worked. And it worked for us. But then again, when it didn't, it was a season. And that's why people come in your life. It's a season. And some things I had to learn, all seasons ain't for me. That season worked for me then. It don't always work for me now. My whole thing is I want more. Why?
Yeah.
Because I have so much more to give, so much more to do.
Mm-hmm.
So when somebody mentioned to me about relationship without sex, I can say it can happen. It can.
Yeah.
It shouldn't everything shouldn't just be based on sex. I totally agree. But my whole thing is getting back to that communication and that vibe. Because if you ain't having the sex, what are you having? You gotta have some, like you mentioned, offset.
Mm-hmm.
Your offsets, and it ain't gotta be great, it just gotta be something that you commonly enjoy. Because I wanna be with a person I enjoy, okay? I always want my next wife to be my best friend. Because that way, if something was to happen and we wasn't able to have sex, we already know how to laugh and enjoy each other. I wanna be able to go somewhere and it ain't even about sex, it's just about enjoying each other. Where we can actually look at each other and be turned on. So if it happens, great. But if we just turn on and that person physically can't, I'm still comfortable of knowing what all we done.
Mm-hmm.
We done enough that I feel like, hey, we're going to ride this ride. Because when you get older, different things happen. My brother done told me, man, there's pills for everything. You got pills for boo-booing, and everybody know the Viagra and all this other stuff. I mean, it's pills for every damn thing. My whole thing is, I'm not trying to be peeled up. If I really feel like if you get the right person, you'll be booed up and you'll get that strength and you'll just carry on. I ain't gonna lie, things might happen. I don't know, but take care of yourself. I do a lot of vitamins right now. Why? It's not about just making sure. I'm trying to leave a mark, okay?
Yeah.
A lot of people worried about living forever. You're gonna die.
Oh yeah.
My whole thing is, are you gonna leave here leaving a mark,
Mm-hmm.
or you just gonna leave here? Because bottom line, I don't care what you do. Work out, you can eat healthy, you can be a vegan. It doesn't matter. You still gonna die.
Yeah.
Now that right there is profound and true. Now I ain't trying to hurt your feelings,
That's a fact.
but that is what we call a true fact, okay? That's like a
that's
formula, and that's like a number, right? You can count on that. But my whole thing is, can you count on what you're gonna do? That mark.
Mm-hmm.
That mark is what we're doing right now, is being able to give out some advice, be able to do some things that people can see a long time from now.
Yeah.
Can you leave a legacy? Can you leave what you really feel was in your soul?
Question is, what is your legacy?
As in your
Yeah,
legacy?
yeah.
Or what are you doing for your legacy? Remember one of the things we talked about last
Yeah.
night? We said one of the most difficult things to talk about is religion, right?
Yeah.
But remember one of the
Religion
things
and politics.
yeah. And one of the things I said, I went all the way back to Egyptian times.
Yeah.
So again, we ain't gonna question nobody's religion. We ain't gonna do all that tonight. But we have meetings every Wednesday. And one of the things that we do is we try to open our minds. Because one of the things I like to say that we don't do enough is dialogue with each other. And have the uncomfortable conversations. That's why we're comfortable having these conversations with you. Because we already had the uncomfortable conversation. The ones that we don't air because it ain't for everybody. Everybody won't vibe and understand. But I tell you, if you don't have it, you won't be able to have a good dialogue with somebody else that might not be able to see things your way. But then
that's
you
the
got to be able to be
crazy thing
open.
about the whole thing about conversations.
What's that?
There shouldn't be a conversation that you can't have. and not be uncomfortable with it.
Well, you gotta understand one thing. You can't have it at the workplace because they ain't trying to have you have that. They want
True
you focused on the work.
Yeah.
And I understand that. But my whole thing is when it comes to your significant other or the person of importance to you,
Yeah.
I agree. I really feel like anything that we have difficulty with, we need to work through.
Yeah, but that's the thing. The world would be a lot. Well, you getting off tangent, off topic.
Well, it's all, but when you think about it, it is about building
Yeah.
off of sex. This is not about sex. This is about building onto a relationship that's going to make it more healthy without sex. Can you do it? Have conversation. It ain't about sex at this point.
Yeah, but
Can you do something that you expose yourself? Remember you said, can you get naked without the
a lot of
physicalness?
people don't want to.
Because of what?
It's
The
hard.
skeletons?
No.
Because of your mind?
Fear.
Your weakness?
Fear.
Fear of what?
What do you
Them
mean?
knowing-
Fear of what?
Think about it. Your fear of
the-
knowing that I'm not strong here.
No.
The fear comes from a lot of anxieties.
Yeah, the fear that you actually get naked in front of someone, and not on the physical plane.
I mean,
And that's the hardest place to get naked with somebody, is to actually open up to somebody and show them your bare red meat, basically what it is. Because at the end of the day, that's that soft spot that you got. That soft spot you have. That's when you call touching their heart. That red meat.
that red meat still pumping. I mean, to me, to get naked is not as hard. You know, once you opened up and been hurt,
Mm-hmm.
you tend to close down. I didn't. One of the things I noticed, some of my hurt was by my own default, my own decisions. So I started changing up what I was doing instead of holding that person saying they hurt me.
Yeah.
I hurt myself.
Yeah.
All right.
Exactly.
I opened up, but then I wasn't fair about my opening up, and then you close up, you do different things, but then you want to blame somebody else for hurt and agony. But truthfully, I take ownership. I'm like, yo, I did some things here, so I have to look at them things to make change. Now I don't hold that to the next person. That's why the next person they go right. That's why the next person they have to go through all that, and they're like, well, you got this big old wall. No, you're a lie. My wall ain't big like that because I didn't let that last relationship come into my next one. It's like, yo, whatever she did. And I did things too. So I ain't blaming. So at this point, we have a better conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Our whole vibe is just so much better because you have to evolve. If you've been with multiple people and you ain't involved from all the stuff you're going through, you just having fun recklessly.
Yeah.
Everything should have some purpose. You should be meaningful. There's people in my life that I was with that I still keep with their kids.
Yeah.
Because I really feel like, you know, I don't enter people's lives, you know, and I'm get all the way off tangent, but we talked about this in the meeting. Remember first date. Now, I don't know about how y'all feel about the first date, but it was on Franksky, and I think it really came from Derek. Derek was talking about it, relationship guy, and he said on the first date, the guy went out, and the woman said that she wanted him to pay for her child's meal on the first date. And everybody agreed that, yeah, you should pay, and that's a role you're going to take. Everybody felt their way. My whole thing was like this.
Not the first date.
And I said the same thing, but this is something that we all talked about. I said on the first date, no. Because on the first date, or even on the second date, I shouldn't even meet your child or come around your child because you're a protector. So my whole thing is when you are free and you're able to, then we can do the date once that child is already secured and safe.
Yeah, but
wherever
that
he's
start
going through.
contributing to your household until we decided that.
After we made that decision, that conversation. But again, some people feel like, well, you just broke. You don't need to be with me because you can't afford me. My whole thing
That's
is,
fine.
I would say buy all day long too, because my whole thing is I can afford to pay for your child. That's not even an issue with me. My whole thing is don't play me.
Taking care of your child.
Right, don't play me because the number one concern should be your child.
Exactly.
Your child should always come first. So if I ask you out and you told me, well, I ain't got no sitter and I got a 10 for my child, the first thing that come to my mouth is, I'm sorry, I respect that. Because I always feel like you should do what's the respectful thing for your child all the time, period.
Yeah.
Now to me, whenever we can get that time, great. Because I'm trying to learn you to see if we can vibe.
Yeah.
You can't just push a child into another person's life quickly without you taking concern of making sure he's right.
Exactly.
And I like to say that was on the forefront, and I like to say you're almost like selling. All right, well, the child gonna get a free meal off of this, you know. So now you're boasting and you're bragging. That ain't what need to be happening. In today's time, it's too much playing around.
Yeah.
And I like to say we need to get back to old school time where that right there.
Grandma was grandma.
What the kids gonna eat before you ever go out.
Exactly.
They gonna be put to bed before you can ever even come around.
Before you go out.
But now we playing around where it can just be done and it can be capital in game. Watch your games, watch your play. Because the number one thing I like to say, we got to be respectful all the way around. I don't really want to meet a child on the upfront just because I don't know you.
Yeah.
And you got to know me to make sure I'm even comfortable to meet your child. But now it's a package deal. You want this, you get it all.
Yeah,
Watch what you're selling.
Yeah, but because that's exactly what you're doing. You're selling at that point. Because that means that, you know, from the first time that I meet you, I have to start paying for you and for your child. That's not fair to me.
No. And my whole
Because
thing,
at the end of the day, that child has a parent. Regardless of what you did or what you didn't do to make that relationship be a practical relationship, whether you with the man or you not with him, it still should be a cordial relationship where he's doing what he's supposed to do and you're doing what you're supposed to do. And the mere fact that you're saying that you have to buy you have to buy my child something to eat for me to go out with you, that lets me know that you're not taking care of your responsibilities as a woman. So,
out.
For that right there, like on Shark Tank,
You out.
I'm out.
Me on the hand, I would also say for women that's out there that's
I'm
strong.
out.
I would say for strong women that's out there, most of the ones I ever say that ever ask me to do anything, I will pretty much do. Reason why I respect the children, I respect the woman. I haven't had too many people ever ask me on the first date to do anything of that nature.
Yeah,
They made accommodations because they wanted to learn me, but I had a couple of them through the date site.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, I want to come through, want to do this. I ain't got no sitter, but if you pay so and so to watch him, I can come on by. Now my whole thing is, if you need somebody to do all that, then just stay there.
Yeah.
And whenever you get free time, because I always want to make sure the child is in a protected, safe place.
Environment, yeah.
Not coming to, well, one ain't coming to me. I'm gonna tell you that all day long.
Yeah,
You,
hey.
for the first meet, ain't bringing your child to me.
Look,
My
I'm
whole
sorry.
thing,
I'm like Kevin. You know, I'm looking at the situation. I don't think it'll be beneficial
to go any further.
and I don't think that
This
the
ain't gonna work.
the way you're doing it and I'm doing it, and for that reason,
Pineapples.
I'm out.
Pineapple. Everybody gotta have a safe place. Pineapples. Because again, I know we kind of off subject, but we're on because this is not about sex. This is about the relationship without sex, and bringing kids into that too quickly
It's a different exactly.
can bring a red flag to us men. Because again, you done made a child with another person, and my whole thing is not to exclude that person because again, y'all raising them.
Mm.
My whole thing is to be a tribe. I am that native tribe that's going to help facilitate whatever guidance this child might need, but it is still the parents' responsibility.
Yeah.
Now I do know some women out there don't have the guys ain't there at all. Get that?
Yeah.
I need to learn that, and I need to respectfully go in there in a place where I'm comfortable doing that. You just don't push a person into that, and then oh well, you don't really fit. If I don't fit, I should have never been brought in the first place.
Exactly.
And that's why dating is important when it comes to that. When it comes to a single mother, just taking the time to find that right fit, because it is a team. It's her and her child, making sure that they have a safe environment. And I get that. And I understand that some guys is just a smash and grab, do some different things. But that goes back to that non-sex type thing. But understanding that person, that dialogue, and then exposing. because that woman's trying to actually expose herself to let you know that I have a child. It's more to me than just what meets the eye. I've done some things before you. Can you handle it? And that conversation needs to be had where a person has to make a honest, conscious decision. Because if you're not into kids, you ain't had no kids, and that ain't what you wanted, then you're about to enter something that's going to probably be detrimental. It's going to be something that's probably not going to work. And it's just a smash that's going to piss somebody off. I told you, you entered with a foul intent. You knew good and well you had no intent on entering my life to be a long term. It was just a smash, but you played a role.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I got you, girl. What do you need? You buy him the toys. You give him everything you need. So then the kid don't really like you anyway. you buying him, and he already know what it is because he gonna be a protector of the mother.
Yeah.
Because he ain't used to the man being there, so he gonna try to do what he can. And he ain't gonna like it, but he'll take the toys.
Oh yeah.
He'll take the money.
He gonna take the gifts.
And he gonna be right there, mama, 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 mama. Why? Because he already know you ain't coming between him and his mama, mama, mama.
Exactly.
Why? Simple. He's trying to be what a man will be. He's a young boy trying to be a man to protect his mother. You have to respect that.
You
and
have to.
And that change. But if you going in there for a smash and grab, I promise you gonna overlook. And that goes back to just
And the crazy
sex.
thing about it, if you can't respect that little boy trying to feel the father's footsteps, you know the man gets
No. And you're not trying to be a man. And you're not trying to guide. And that's what we're trying to do now, is talk about some of the things that goes on, and we wonder why. The dialogue need to be had, because the respect level need to be had when he comes around a child. How, is he quick to try to discipline? Is he quick to try to learn the child?
Yeah.
Because every child is different. You can't say because of my child did this, so I'm going to do this to your child. Every child is different. He wasn't raised by you. So again, you got to be more open-minded. And then by him having a daddy, his daddy gonna come at you because now you discipline him, and that ain't how he raised, and that's how he believes.
Yes.
This is a huge conversation that people don't always have because it's like, hey, everybody deals with it.
Mm-hmm.
It's a hell of a thing to be dealt with. Again, it goes back to building a relationship or dating without sex, but understanding other things is involved with it. That dialogue with that child, that's huge. To me, push sex to the side. Because I don't care how good it is. Sex can be great. That child, that can be for fun.
Yeah. They actually
Everybody
enjoy
else do it to reproduce.
Yeah, it's just, hey.
What it's made for.
Yeah, exactly. That it is look, straight to the point. Short, sweet, and simple. Hey, we do this to reproduce. Hey, you're in heat. I smell you. I'm coming to reproduce.
Period.
Exactly. Humans and dolphins like, hey,
we gonna do this for fun.
This feel good.
We gonna keep doing it.
Exactly.
And then we get ourselves into a point where it's like, oh, this ain't fun no more. Because
but dolphins, they don't have that situation. They don't have that issue.
They just keep doing it.
Yeah.
They keep swimming
There's
out.
so many dolphins in the world.
Okay. So we to a point where we're trying to get away from just doing it like dolphins and have that understanding of when to do it.
Casual, meaningless sex.
That happens often. Our question is, can you have a meaningful relationship without sex?
Of course you can.
My whole thing is, if you think about how stimulating sex is and how I feel, if you can go out the box and start stimulating a person's
Just surround
mind,
yourself with a whole lot of ugly women. You good.
that ain't stimulating my ass at all, bro. I'll tell you right now, right there, that's a demotivation to even comment. You know how hard it is to look at that
Look,
you got me twisted.
But look.
Nah,
look at it. Look at it.
I don't want to look at it. That's a problem.
Look,
got me with a bunch of ugly ass women talking about.
If they ugly, you ain't thinking about having sex.
No.
So that's a good relationship without sex.
It can be. It can be. It's a hard one. It's a hard pill. It's a hard pill.
To swallow, right?
It's a hard one. Because I don't want to look at them like, because you so ugly, I don't want to have sex with you. You know, that made me seem like a male chauvinist. My whole thing is, when you ugly like
No, you just smart.
you say that ain't gonna do good.
Smart.
That ain't. Ma, take that same smartness. I guess you need to picture her cute ass ugly to keep yourself from putting yourself in that position. My whole thing is, when you meet somebody and they got great morals, and I really love strong women with strong morals.
Yeah.
I just respect how they feel until they say something like 90 days or 100 days, because then my whole thing is you base it on something else. When you base it off of how you feel, I respect. Because if you tell me too soon, but I like you, and I love the conversation, you intrigue me. My whole thing is, can you keep me intrigued? Can you keep me in a dialogue, conversation that can make things grow, that'll make me more interested to want to pursue you, to have more, to do more. My whole thing is, there's people that have no dialogue at all, and it's like, yo, you know, hey, you look good, I'm horny, let's just do it. That's good, that's lust. Everybody know about it. My whole thing is, when you want to build a foundation, and something like my son said earlier before you got in here, he said he had a lot of relationships that the foundation was just broken up. It wasn't nothing. Okay?
Yeah, but the thing is,
it's like quicksand.
Placed on that 30 days, 60 days, 90 days.
You didn't make it, did you?
No,
You got away before then.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they gave a false expectation. They gave you something that they basically heard.
No. I didn't know until afterwards.
Oh, when you broke it?
Yeah. You know, I had you on a 90-day rule.
How long did you make it? I mean, what'd you break it in?
Which one?
Damn. You broke a lot of rules.
A lot of them.
So bottom line,
because
what's the average? Give me the average number.
10, 15 days.
10, 15 days?
Yeah, on the 90-day rule. Average.
They ain't make it worth a damn. They ain't make it 30 days?
No. I mean, because you real recognize real.
Mm-hmm.
And if you dealing with somebody and you can respect and understand that you know he shooting me straight from the hip. You know, and I like him, you know, the attraction is there. I might as well get it on.
We gotta go to break on this one. Because you and Jamal, y'all are alike.
No, we're nothing.
Yeah, y'all are.
No.
And we gotta prove this.
No.
Next segment, we have to go in because Phil's saying,
No, we're nothing.
you can come 90, but you gonna come up short. We gonna be right back. We got my man, Jay Moolah, my son, doing the Wheels of Steel tonight. What you got tonight, Rob? What they got next?
Another Bruno Mars.
Oh, he's trying to stay sexy with the women tonight. He said he might be a broken foundation. He gonna make it strong and all. All right, we back. Yes, bar talk like this. All I can tell y'all is one of them situations where it's a lot different, but we want to say shout outs to Barb. It's not in the building tonight, and also my man Craftmatic. Wasn't able to join us, but I promise you Craft would have gave some spiritual life. It's like a mug tonight. Because that guy right there, he can tell you all about that in his realm. I can't. Because unfortunately, I am that one to be like, y'all, it's kind of difficult. I've had friends without sex. I have, and I still have friends that I've never had sex with. To say I can go 90 days or whatever and not have sex, but yes, if we're just friends. But to say in a relationship, I don't put a timeline, but I want to make sure people are comfortable, and we make that decision to go but I like to say we are stimulated by our conversation. That's what makes me want to do it even more, and also make me respect the person and also somewhat wait. But to me, that's what also keep us going when we're not vibing. Like when something foul happens and one mad at each other, you still have them good other times that you got to rely on, because everything ain't gonna be roses. A person that you meet to show you the world, I mean, just do all the great things, great sex, great this, everything is so fun and lovely. When something foul happens and they get mad and they temper overwhelms everything, you want to go back to a good thought, or you out, okay? As my boy Phil said, I'm out. You got to realize, it don't take much to break a relationship. It don't take much for a person to bail out. My whole thing is to keep people from bailing out and understanding what you have. And it starts with a great conversation. The dialogue of not having sex is just one of the ones that I'm not trying to push people away because sex or non-sex. It's just understanding of sex. And Phil brought up a great point. Dolphins and us is the ones that just have sex. And that's why so many dolphins swimming around here now. So I'm looking at it like, okay, if we stimulate ourselves to understanding sex is a great pleaser, stimulate, feeling, let's go with mental. Because there's mental ways to get a person to do it as well. And when you get the mental and the physical, you can have a great combination, but a lot of times it can be started in the wrong way and end foully. But that's anybody anyway. My whole thing is conversation. Conversation, conversation, conversation. Now some people say all that talk and he ain't adding up and he ain't what he talk up to. Don't talk out your realm.
What about you?
That's what I'm saying.
Did you add up to what you said?
I like to say everybody probably won't, because if you ain't getting it, you start getting big testicles. You know, my thing might not be big, but my balls was. It took so long to get it. They was swollen. It made my thigh look big. It just depends on where you at. I'm just playing. You know, you waited that long, but my whole thing is, even in the wait, can you make the wait fun? And when you make things fun, it can make things more enjoyable. A lot of times, I can tell you out of relationships I had, it's been fun. Anybody I dated and I spent time with, it's been fun. That's why I dated them. Why? Something different, where I can experience some things, but I can understand people in a different way. That's why we come back to the show and we're able to give it to you in a different way. Everybody's not going to agree with me or Phil. And I'm fine with that. And I don't feel like you have to. But do you understand yourself? Do you understand your relationship with your significant other, from wife to girlfriend to fiance? To have that conversation about, where is it, baby? Is it just sex? Do we have great conversation? How do you feel about me when you ain't with me? These are the conversations I want y'all to have to make sure y'all are happy. Happiness lies within yourself. It starts with you. If you're saying to yourself, I'm happy because I make her happy, then she's gonna have a very difficult time making you happy, because it starts you. You have to be happy. And when you are happy and she already got her happiness, we might fuss, we might not get along. But guess what? We tend to find a way to be happy. And my whole thing is not to be miserable. That's totally going to be up to you. How my phone going to keep it? Really? You up, Phil? What you got?
Well, we didn't hit the quote for the week, and we didn't hit the 7 things.
I'll tell you what, hit the quote.
All right. In life, we have to make difficult decisions to finally let go of what is hurting your heart and soul, in order to start something new and trust new beginnings. That's a quote for the week.
Good one. We got to hit the 7 things, man. Because we want to do, before we leave up out of here, what Phil's trying to do now is give you a little bit of inspiration of things that you can do to help you have a relationship without sex.
Well, this is 7 things.
Hold on, you took no ownership of that. This is what you to know that right now.
No. I'm not taking ownership of this right here.
What you got?
It says 7 things more important than sex. Make sure you communicate,
That's a good one.
trust,
Good one.
respect,
Always.
love,
Okay.
passion,
Like,
loyalty,
mm-hmm.
and support.
What's wrong with them?
Those are more important than sex.
I mean,
Are you serious? Are you serious right now? A woman must make this. A woman had to do this. Cause dude ain't said this right here. Oh, it's 7 things more important than sex. Nah, no. Mm-mm.
so you said
Now-
sex overrule that?
Hell yeah. I mean, sorry. But look, come on now. Now, I can ride with 7 things that will go in concert with sex, but not more important than sex. Because in order to have all of this stuff right here, you have to have communication. And that makes sex better. This is not more important than sex. No. No.
Say it again, Phil.
No.
Phil said it with shivers.
No, it's not more important than sex because, I mean, think about it. All right, you make sure you communicate.
Mm-hmm.
It's not more important than sex. What it's doing is making sex better. All these 7 things that you're stating that says, "Oh, these are more important than sex." No, if you can get these 7 things in,
Mm-hmm.
it makes sex better. It's not saying that they're more important than sex. Because you can have sex without having none of it.
What kind of sex is that?
Good sex.
It can be meaningless sex too.
It's still good.
It don't necessarily gotta be good.
How you figure that?
It can be dry.
I ain't know that.
Well, it can get dry.
Yeah, you can get dry. That means you ain't doing something that you
Yeah,
want to
but
do.
like I said, it doesn't always have to be good sex.
No, sex is good.
You know how to make it good. Sex is good.
Yeah, but nah.
Okay,
I
Dolphin.
disagree. I disagree.
You disagree?
Yeah, I disagree.
I'd like to say you
I
really agree.
No, I don't.
Because you
I-
said
I-
within concert.
Yeah, within concert to make sex better, but these 7 things aren't more important than sex.
Okay, so you take the importance off. You can say these 7 things
so-
can enhance.
Exactly, they enhance sex. I mean, granted, you can have these things without having sex and still a void. You have a void there. I mean, because you have to balance what you have. I mean, if you have these, okay, you have trust, you have respect, you have love, you have passion, you have loyalty, you have support. I mean, that's if you're in a relationship and you communicate, the support is going to come there. You communicate on, this is what you do, this is what I do.
But she don't have to support you.
How you figure that?
Why she have to?
She don't have to, but with communication, you get that support.
I mean, it's a reason
Well,
to.
in theory.
There you go.
In theory.
In theory, I agree with that theory, but I like to say that support can be handed down in different ways.
Mm-hmm.
So again, to enhance non-sex in a relationship,
Before.
she's saying these are the key things that can enhance a relationship.
No, she's
without
saying
sex.
7 things more important than sex. No,
See, I mean,
these aren't more important than sex. No,
I think she's saying these are
And
key
then-
things to have if you're maybe not having sex.
Well, that's not what she said.
I understand, but can we reword it? Let's reword it
Okay.
to see if we can grab more people.
Oh, okay, all right. So if you gonna go that route, okay,
Gotta change it up, baby.
I agree, but
Okay.
now what that statement said, no, I'm out. I don't agree.
I didn't make
with
the
that one.
statement,
Yeah.
but I would like to say these are things that can be key if we're looking at non-sex and you're trying to find things to promote the non-sex and to get in a person's head to stimulate them in a way that can keep them focused on each other.
Yeah.
And I can say these are some key things that can definitely work.
But the thing is, it's like, all right, we take sex out of the equation, and you take communication out of these 7, you really can't have any of it, right? You add communication to the equation, but each definition that you have trust, you have respect, you have love, you have passion, you have loyalty, you have support. You have 2 definitions because you have 2 different people with those definitions. So communication is going to get you to the point where sex is going to be 10 times better because you have everything that's going on there. But you have to be able to communicate and communicate openly and honestly. Because if you just communicating, you're not communicating openly and honestly, I mean, you're just talking.
There's been people known to talk their way in.
Yeah, but you really not talking your way into anything, really.
You can talk your way in. You're just going to get yourself into a position where it's easy to figure out.
Yeah.
And my whole thing is you can let somebody... I've never known how ignorant a person was until they start talking. You know, I can look at you and I cannot see it. But the minute you start talking, I was like, you know something?
Oh, boy.
I don't hear any intelligence coming out their mouth. Because, again, where you at is where you at. And I want everybody to be in a better place.
You know what they say, God protect babies and fools.
And we want to make sure you have an understanding of what you want to do. So tonight, I don't know if we gave this topic any justice. I jumped around and I did it on purpose because, again, it was something that I like to say behind the scenes. When I seen it, I was like, yeah, this is definitely not my topic. But we can talk on any and everything because the bottom line, no matter what y'all have for us to talk about, we're going to talk about it. We got a new segment now. We got Jamal in the street. We trying to make change to the game. Because one of the things I want y'all to know, this show is revolving. I don't know if you really like it or you love it or you hate it, but the bottom line is here. So share it, then like it, and then like it again.
Yes,
and then if you like Buddha, inbox me. We can have him back some more. Jay Moolah was always in the building. That's my son. For all y'all single women that's 30 age, you know what I'm saying, above 22, that y'all might be interested in a good young man that work hard, that I'm trying to push out, feel free to hit me up in my inbox. That's right. And it can be sexual or not. I say, I don't care. Whatever. But rock. We out. Bar Talk with Jay.
Ain't no last calls here.
Bar Talk with Jay.